put a cap on a lot of this. So we come up to the end of the show, bringing out an oldie but a goodie, predictive MVP for the game. Those of you that are joining us live, if you guys drop those in the chat room, I'll shout them out here in the middle of the show as well. But Rhett, I'll throw it back to you. Who do you predict as the Buccaneers MVP for this game? Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus the Denver Broncos.
I know it's cliche, but I have to say Shaq Barrett for all the reasons that you just mentioned. I mean, he's a guy who's going to be gunning to perform against a team that obviously didn't think he was worth very much. So he's going to come out looking ready to play. And I mean, to add on to the fact, this Broncos offensive line is not good. I'm expecting a rough day for them, and I'm really expecting a big day for this defensive line as a whole. But I think if anybody is going to get theirs this week, it's going to be Shaq Barrett. I'm hopefully expecting a multi-sack game for him. You'd love to see it, and it definitely shut a lot of the haters up so far that he has 2-3 weeks into the season. It'll be nice to see. So I'll be watching Shaq Barrett, and hopefully he is the guy.
Wow, there's a lot of people that could have big games. Like, I think Chris Godwin's going to have a monster game, not picking him. I think defensively, like Sean Murphy-Bunting could have a very good game, not picking him. Antoine Winfield Jr., the newly anointed Buccaneers Hall of Famer.
Future Ring of Honor.
Oh, future Ring of Honor for sure. I mean, that's already sewn up, but now he's getting Hall of Fame talk from Buccaneers fans, like Quan Alexander all over again. Calm down. But he could have a good game because he never had a bad game. But the center for the Denver Broncos is a rookie. He's having a real rough time of it. They have two very good guards. I think JPP is another good pick. I like Rhett's pick with Shaq because this is probably the weakest competition he has faced. But it's I'm going with Vita. I don't think he's going to win the MVP, but he can have an MVP type game because he's going to be so much stronger than this guy. And if he can put some plays together back to back, I expect him to lead the team in tackles for loss, and I expect him to get 1.5 sacks. So I'm going with Vita Vea.
All right. Hey, that'd be good because Vita Vea has been getting a lot of pressure from the local media and from lots of Bucs content creators lately. So I'd be interested to see if he doesn't rise to that challenge and be that. And oh, by the way, former Buccaneer great Warren Sapp, he's been getting a lot. And I think we would all love to see Warren Sapp kind of get put in his place about that and actually let Vita have,
I'd like to see Warren Sapp fall down a flight of stairs.
No, you wouldn't.
Yes, I would. He's so funny. He's all cripply anyway. It's like,
oh my gosh,
he'd like skip down like he's kind of like in a laundry basket or something, maybe in a toboggan sled.
Oh my gosh. My predictive MVP, though, Red, for many of the reasons that I think you said, and you dismissed my guy, but I'm going with Antoine Winfield Jr.
I didn't dismiss him.
Do what? Well, you kind of like, he could have it, but I'm not going to have it. But for all those reasons that you were talking about, of where Driscoll's just going to air it out and he's just going to throw it and throw it and throw it,
right.
And that's just going to provide opportunities. It's going to be quantity this week for Antoine Winfield Jr. And I think he's going to jump in there. We might see him get his first pick. Or second, I don't know if he's got one yet or not, but I think we'll see some good stuff out of Antoine Winfield Jr. And I think he's just going to continue to shine. And
sealing his bust in Canton after game 3.